So getting back to the individuality discussion, there's a difference between personality and individuality. Individuality is you have become self-aware. You now know you are an individual. You now know you can think, feel, taste, do whatever you wish to do, choose to do, and you have the right to do that. You've been given the free will to do that. You're now even aware that you have free will, perhaps, that you have the will to make choices and decisions. That's what I call individuality.
Sounds like a 2-year-old.
From the moment we incarnate, we're an individual. From the moment we incarnate into the womb, we're an individual. Right? We're aware, we're self-aware. And if I pass in that state, so if I pass and I've been miscarried, I am still, the process of incarnation has been completed because I am self-aware. Before the time of incarnation, I was not self-aware. Right? And I'm talking the first incarnation. Right? That is a totally different state to personality. Personality is traits that God designed inside of you, which are unique to you and no one else has, or that are similar to what other people have. It's just a combination of those things inside of your soul, and that personality existed before you were aware of it. And that's what I call personality.
There's a sense of humour coming to them.
Of course, all sorts of things come into that. Although be careful with a lot of qualities nowadays that we judge in people, because with a lot of qualities what we do is we judge that quality as good or that quality as bad. In reality, a lot of our qualities that we think are qualities are actually just injuries. Right? So you know how there's a lot of books nowadays that say, oh, you're that type of person or you're this type of person. There's one that goes choleric.
Phlegmatic.
What's it called?
The Myers-Briggs personality
That's
classification.
it, yeah. When you think about it, the majority of it is based on injury. A person who's constantly upset and angry and projecting that on others, I don't call that a personality. I call that emotional injury. Right? Because in the end, all of you, once you're at one with God, you won't do that. So it must be an injury. Right? We just think it's a part of our personality, but it's not. It's not a part of our personality. It's an emotional injury that we gathered through the course of our life from the moment of incarnation onwards.
Is that something that can determine, like if we can define ourselves within that, is that something that can be a guide to us to show us that these are our emotions that need to be fixed up?
Yeah, if you've defined yourself as like an angry type of person or a get up and go type of person or a person that never wants to sit down or a person that, all these different things, the truth is that the majority of those definitions are actually injury based. They're not personality.
Yep.
Personality is totally different to that.
Serene feeling.
With the I Ching as well?
Sorry?
With the I Ching as well?
I don't know.
The profiles based on the I Ching?
Anything that profiles you,
pronounce
anything that profiles you generally does not allow for your expression of free will. In other words, it doesn't allow you to change who you are. And God gave you free will, so therefore God gave you the ability to also change who you are.
Like the Zodiac.
Right?
You're this sort of a person.
Yeah, the Zodiac is a similar thing. So all of those things, while there are certain truths of attraction of certain personalities at certain times of the year and so forth, there are certain universal features of function that cause certain attractions. None of them define you. Right? You are defined by the emotions that exist in your soul and the personality mixed with the personality that God gave you. Right?
So have we made up these immense systems of, like the Zodiac and the Myers-Briggs, just to occupy ourselves or entertain ourselves or something?
Yeah, to create our realities. Remember in the channeling, if you see the DVDs from January, in the channeling with Lucinda, remember what she said about six-sphere spirits? She said that they create huge sideway realities, right, that are beyond your intellectual comprehension right at the moment. Billions and billions and billions of different realities are created in that location. And you move from one to the other as you think you're progressing. You're moving from one to another, to another, to another, to another, to another. They're never growing higher than that, but they're moving from one. And what's happened is many of their realities is filtered down through their connections with people on Earth onto what things we've constructed here on Earth. So things like the Zodiac, for instance, came from spirits. Right? All of those things came from spirits in order to, as a reflection of the reality of what they believe is real. And imposed onto persons on the earth.
So what sort of things came from God direct? Anything?
There's only one thing that comes. I've been telling you what it is already.
Twins. Are they soulmates?
No,
No.
not generally.
Okay.
So maybe in early stages they could have been, but nowadays twins are generally not soulmates.
Was the one thing divine love that came from
Yes, of course.
Can happen with sex.
Well, that's included in the way.